You have a space that belongs only to you. It's your thoughts, your attitude, your emotions. It's who you spend time with, what you watch and listen to. That's your atmosphere. That's what you have control over. And the reason some people live worried, offended, negative is because they let everything in. They listen to the news all day. They dwell on the medical report. They go to lunch with people that are critical. Somebody cuts them off in traffic. That sours the rest of the morning. The problem is they're not ruling their atmosphere. You have to be careful what you allow in. You can't stop everything from coming, but you can stop it from getting down in your spirit. You need to keep your atmosphere full of faith, full of praise, full of hope, full of victory. Anything that tries to poison that atmosphere, it's up to you to say, no thanks, you're not welcome here. Somebody leaves you out at work. They don't invite you to the meeting. The offense will come, saying be angry, be bitter. That's not right. You can let that offense in and live upset, or you can say, sorry offense, you're not welcome here. Sorry bitterness, there's no place for you. I'm going to stay in peace. I'm going to enjoy this day. You don't have control over what people do, but you do have control over your thoughts, your attitude, how you respond. Proverbs says, a person that doesn't rule his spirit is like a city with broken down walls. In Bible days, the walls were what protected the city. If the walls were down, then anyone could get in. The opposition would come and take the city. In the same way, if you don't keep some walls up around your spirit, if you don't rule your atmosphere, put some boundaries, then everything's going to get in. Your child is off course. Instead of trusting that God has him in the palm of his hand, worry will get in. You can't sleep at night. Your business slows down. You lost a client. Instead of knowing that God is your source, that he's going to provide, the stress will come, the anxiety. What am I going to do? Or maybe someone is talking about you, trying to make you look bad. Instead of letting God fight your battles, you let the offense in. You live defensive, trying to prove to them that you're okay, wasting valuable time on something that doesn't matter. You don't need their approval. God has already approved you. Now keep your walls up. Quit allowing all that into your spirit. Your time is too valuable. Your assignment too important to let everything in. Be selective. If it's not positive, hopeful, of a good report, then don't dwell on it. You can't control the whole world, but you can control your atmosphere. And the scripture says that God has made you to be a king, that you are to reign in life. Negative things will come, but you have to remember you're the ruler. You have the authority to decide what you allow in. Am I going to dwell on this offense? Am I going to hang around this person that's pulling me down? Am I going to stay focused on this bad break, live in self-pity? It's up to you. You rule over your kingdom. And we turn on the news these days, and there's so much negative. We hear about how bad the pandemic is, the divisiveness in politics, the unrest in our society. If you allow that division to get in you, the disrespect, the anger, it's going to pollute your thoughts, steal your joy, make you sour. You have to be proactive. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Is it building you up, making you more positive, more hopeful? Or is it tearing you down, stressing you out, making you angry, upset? You don't need that in your atmosphere. Life is hard enough without adding all these negative things that make it more difficult. A man told me how he drove to work every day for an hour listening to talk radio. It was about news and politics. People would get on, argue and debate. He would get so riled up, so upset. By the time he got to work, he was angry, on edge. He said, Joel, I didn't like who I had become. Nobody wanted to be around me. I was so hard to get along with. One day he accidentally came across our Sirius XM station. He started listening. Instead of putting all the negative in, hours a day, that was contaminating him, he started putting in something uplifting. Words of faith, hope, and victory. He said, I'm a different person now. I'm positive. I'm grateful. I look forward to work. I enjoy the people. His co-worker even asked him what happened to him, why he was so much happier and so much more friendly. It was because he got rid of the poison in his atmosphere. I like to watch the news. It's good to stay informed, but you can't listen to the news for hours a day and stay in faith. You can't take that into your spirit and have the energy, the focus, the creativity to be your best. Well, Joel, I wish God would help me to do better. God has done his part. He made you a king. He's given you the authority. You have the power to rule your atmosphere. You can't control all that's around you, but you can control what gets in you. Are your walls up? Are you ruling your spirit? It's important who you're spending time with. Evaluate your friendships. Are they making you better, inspiring you, challenging you to go further? Or are they pulling you down, causing you to compromise, bringing out the worst in you? That's contaminating your atmosphere. You're going to become like the people you hang around. If your friends don't have what you want, if they're not going places, if they don't have a good attitude, they're not faithful, trustworthy, then you need to make a change. Life is short. You don't have time to waste with people that are not adding to your life. And yes, we need to help others come up higher, but you need a few friends that will help you come up higher. And this is one of the main things that holds people back. If you will change who you're spending time with, your life will go to a new level. You shouldn't go to lunch with people at the office that are jealous, talk about the boss, complain about the company. Spirits are transferable. If you hang around jealous people, you're going to become jealous. If you hang around unfaithful people, you're going to become unfaithful. The scripture says, don't sit inactive in the path of the ungodly. That means don't be passive when it comes to people polluting your life. Well, Joel, I've been friends with them for years. If I don't eat lunch with them, they may get their feelings hurt. What if you miss your destiny? What if they keep you from the awesome future that God has in store? Don't sit inactive and let them poison your atmosphere. Your ears are not garbage cans to hear gossip. You weren't created to take in the latest rumors. I can't believe what they did. You have greatness in you. God has called you to leave your mark, to take your family to a new level. Don't waste your valuable time on petty things with small-minded people that are not moving you forward. The less time you spend with some people, the better off you're going to be. Some people are dream stealers. They'll tell you all the reasons you can't accomplish your goals, why you can't get well, how you'll never break the addiction. You don't need that poison in your atmosphere. Don't sit inactive with people that don't believe in you, people that don't come into agreement with your dream. If you'll do your part, control what you can control. Rule your atmosphere, your thoughts, your attitudes, then God will do his part. He'll make things happen that you couldn't make happen. There's a restaurant chain that has a motto that says, rule the day. They encourage you to eat the right foods and take the right vitamins so you can have a healthy day. I like that phrase, rule the day. When you get up in the morning, make the decision, I'm going to rule my thoughts today. Not just going to think whatever comes to mind. I'm going to think on purpose, thoughts that are positive, hopeful, encouraging. I'm going to rule who I spend time with today. Not just anyone. I'm going to be selective. I'm going to associate with eagles. I'm going to rule my attitude today. I'm going to see the best. I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to stay in peace. And I'm going to rule my emotions today. I'm going to forgive the wrongs. I'm going to overlook insults. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. It's important to make this decision ahead of time, before you leave the house, that nothing that happens is going to upset you. You're going to stay in peace. Then when difficulties come, traffic is bad, your boss is rude, your child has a problem, you've already decided you're going to rule the day. You have your walls up. You're not going to live upset. And we should go out each day expecting the best, but knowing that everything may not be perfect. There may be delays, interruptions, people that are hard to deal with. Don't let that ruin the day, rule the day. Keep the negative out of your atmosphere. God is directing your steps. Whatever happens is not a surprise to Him. He's given you the power to remain calm in times of adversity. It doesn't say the power to avoid adversity, to not have challenges, to have a perfect day. The fact is, every day can be a good day if you rule your atmosphere. David had a good day while Saul was chasing him. I had a good day at the beach when that company filed a lawsuit. Quit waiting for all the circumstances to be perfect. You can have a good day in the middle of a pandemic. You can have a good day even though you have challenges at work, even though you're dealing with an illness, even though some people don't like you. Stay calm, stay in faith, and rule the day. Make the decision like David. This is the day the Lord has made. I'm going to live it in faith. I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to be good to others. I'm going to make the most of this day. I called to order a pizza one night. I had done this for many years. The first thing they always ask for is your phone number. A young lady answered the phone. I said very politely, hello, and I started to give her my number. You would have thought I had just committed a major crime. She practically screamed in my ear, sir, I am not ready for your phone number. When I want your phone number, I will ask for your phone number. Somehow, at that point, I didn't feel like a pastor. I felt some other things rising up. I had to make a decision. Am I going to rule my atmosphere? Or am I going to let her poison my atmosphere? Am I going to keep my walls up? Or am I going to be offended? People are always trying to bring their atmosphere into your atmosphere. People that are hurting, that have issues, dealing with things, they will try to put their poison on you. They're not bad people, they're just hurting. And the mistake we make too often is we take the bait. We let the offense in. We get upset, do to them what they did to us. But you don't overcome evil with more evil. You overcome evil with good. I thought to myself, I've already made the decision that I'm going to stay in peace today. I'm not going to get upset. I'm going to rule this day.
We haven't been taught to do that. That's the problem. We have this weird approach. We have this weird view of negative emotions. Like some of us think, oh, positive all the time. That leads to delusion.
Falling down doesn't mean that you're done. Falling down doesn't mean that it's over. Falling down doesn't mean that you're dead. Falling down is a reckoning.
Where you step up in a situation and you lead and you do the right thing and you begin to realize you're different, you're unique, you're special. Your self-worth begins to change and you believe over the time in your life.
You're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're doing everything right. You're tired, you're exhausted, and ain't nothing happening. Yet that word is what you're waiting for yet. It's no different because we've messed up because you fell off the wagon, you've been on alcohol and drugs, and you gave up on life. You dropped out, or you've been to jail 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. And you really want your dream to happen, and you're putting in your work, and nothing's happening yet.
Some of us get so absorbed in our negative emotions that they, in some ways, exonerate us from making progress. That's a bad idea too. What we need to do is we need to process our negative emotions in a systematic way, and I think there's a good way to do that. What we need to do is we need to think about our regrets, and when we think about our regrets, the evidence is pretty clear that they can help us make better decisions, solve problems faster, be better strategists, find greater meaning in our life. What I had this giant database of regrets, and I would look on my computer screen, and see them listed there. And you know what? It wasn't that much of a downer because I felt like people were trying to make sense of it.
An opportunity, something that is given to all of us, something to help us to build up, that will give us ultimate satisfaction and knowing that we're not done yet. We are all in this situation together. Why do we fall? It must humble us. Sometimes your worst days can be your best days. It's all about how you put it together. You have to be man enough or woman enough to save yourself. Enough with being afraid.
There's some interesting research on this. One of the things that we think about disclosure of our vulnerabilities and our setbacks and so forth is that people will like us less. And in fact, they actually like us more when we do that. And so I actually had a lot of respect for people willing to disclose and willing to explain. And I felt like I was actually helping them make sense of this regret. So it wasn't that much of a downer. Over and over and over again around the world, the same 4 regrets kept coming up. And I found that fascinating because there wasn't much national difference. What's more, as I said earlier, these 4 regrets are revealing because by revealing our regrets, we are revealing what we value the most. And so to me, these 4 core regrets operate as a photographic negative of the good life. That is, if we understand what people regret the most, we actually understand what they value the most. So in a weird way, these 16,000 regrets are not a downer as much as they are a pointer to what makes life worth living.
Enough of running away. Enough from hiding from your truth. Ladies and gentlemen, this moment in your life right now does matter. Sometimes you are going to lose. Sometimes you are going to hurt. Sometimes you're going to want to quit. You must be better than that. You must be stronger than your excuses. You must be stronger than your circumstances. You must be stronger than your fears. You need a little bit of faith and understanding that you can go further in your life, but you gotta believe in it. You got to trust in it. You got to stand on it. You got to stay away from the things that's not building you up. Falling down, let it be. Falling down, it will happen. Falling down, it's necessary, but that doesn't mean that you quit.
I promise you, if you keep pushing, if you keep giving me all your effort, it will happen. It must happen. It can't do anything. But Move, you can do anything but make progress. But I want you all to understand in saying that word that you all have to stop getting caught up in movement as progress for some of us. The action of making progress is progress. But the push itself, the fight, you get up and swing and miss, that's progress you. Get up and you run at what you want with everything you got.
I deserve to win. I deserve to be different. The next thing is this. You got to take some steps. You got to take some actions. Make some mistakes. Fall down. Allow yourself to fail. Failure is only failure if you don't learn something from it. But the younger you are and the sooner you begin to take action and allow yourself to learn and get experience, the stronger you become. And if you stack experience onto self-worth, onto self-confidence, you have a formula that is going to separate you from everybody. So what is it that you love? Is it sports? Is it music? Is it business? What are some of your gifts? Is it your ability to speak, listen, your math skills, your kindness, your humor, your beauty, your intensity, your passion?
Why does ostracization hurt emotionally? Because it's the most dangerous thing that could happen to you on the plains of the savannah. If you got ostracized, you got eaten. It was that simple. So for us, as a survival mechanism from an evolutionary psychology perspective, we've got to be able to bond and connect with other people. And once I finally realized business can try and abstract itself from that, it can try and rise above that with suits and ties and code of, the way that things are supposed to be done and acting professional. I don't act professional. Literally. And if you guys have ever been with me in a high-level business meeting, Yemeni's going to back me up. I won't say the name of the company, but one of our largest customers in their corporate headquarters, I had one of them crying because I was just being real about my story and why I'm doing this. And they were touched. And it was like, okay, now I have true. I have connected with this person on a real level. I'm not trying to manipulate them. I'm trying to be honest about why I'm here. I'm being honest about why I fight.
You miss that's progress. The effort of making the attempt is progress. And so guess what the goals and the dreams are in that mindset to do nothing. I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. I do it the day after that. We're in a mindset of quitting. And if you want to make sure you become successful, it's not real you quit. It's where you stop preparing to quit. You got to give up on saying, look, I can do that tomorrow. Look, this is my time for rest. This is my time for break. There is no quit. Guess what dreams don't stop people doing?
Your ability to learn, your ability to teach, right? Your programming skills. Maybe it's you thinking creatively, thinking strategically. Maybe it's just hard work, but what are you gifted with? And begin to leverage those gifts and talents towards your goals and dreams, and you'll be much happier. And the next thing is this. Dream. I want you dreaming. I want you picturing your life. I live oceanfront here, and when I was a little boy, I used to walk on this beach and say, someday we're going to live there. Someday I'm going to have that house. There was nothing in my family that told me we should live somewhere like this. That my family wasn't big dreamers. They're just good people doing good things in their life, but no one thought about owning jets or multiple homes or the beach. But I started dreaming. I started thinking big. I'm standing on the beach. My home is right up there. And this entire process started with just a thought in my mind of living here. When I was much younger, I walked on this beach with my then girlfriend, and I began to think about living here one day, and it opened a space in my mind as a young man about what would it be like to live oceanfront. I didn't know.
Now, that was weird for me in the beginning. It was weird for me to reveal so much of my truthful self because I really had to accept being rejected. I had to put myself out there in a vulnerable way because they could have laughed and been like, that's so ridiculous. What do you know about business? You're just a kid. But they don't. It's all about humans. Humans. If you are dealing with humans, don't fall prey to the structure that people try to put around it. It won't work long term. In you right now is the ember of something you don't want to admit to yourself. I promise you. And if you let me interview you long enough, I will get to that thing. And you will resist me trying to get to that thing for a very long time. First, you'll give me a bullshit answer. First, you're going to tell me that you want to be happy. That's useless. I need to know what makes you happy. I need to know how you plan to be happy. Okay? When people say generically that they want to be happy, they might as well tell me that they want a hit of meth.
You have the nerve to think or to ask yourself why you're not successful, and you see it happen every day on Monday morning. Somebody's going to get up and they get a hand in their resignation going to a new job on Monday morning. Somebody going to get uplifting more than you on Monday morning. Somebody going to get up running faster than you on Monday morning. Somebody going to get up with their name higher than the draft and you on Monday morning. Somebody's going to be getting that scholarship that you could have got. That's what on Monday morning somebody's going to get up whiffling to take that test.
You don't need everyone that you think you need. You're depending on too many people. You don't need all of your coworkers to support you. You don't have to have all your friends and family members cheering you on. The less you depend on people, the greater the anointing in your life.
If you've ever been good to somebody who wasn't good back, if you've ever poured yourself into an individual, a company, a place or thing, and didn't get the results you expected. If you've ever had a moment in your life that you have measured yourself and come up short, this message is for you. If you've ever given your best to somebody and they act like it wasn't nothing at all, then this one is for you.
Move on. Forget them. They are lying and they are untrustworthy, so move on. You got to see them for what they are. That person is not who you thought they were. So move on, and at the risk of sounding callous, get over it.
Are you discouraged because people are not giving you what they used to? It's because God's growing you up. Quit trying to get from people what only God can give. Go to Him for your value, your self-worth, for your encouragement. If you'll start passing these tests, not relying on people, you'll not only live more confident, more secure, but I believe and declare you're going to overcome obstacles that looked insurmountable, accomplish dreams that seemed impossible, and reach the fullness of your destiny.
You cannot hang out with a bunch of defeated, going nowhere, no vision men and be an overcomer. You are who you hang around. I want you to listen at them and think about you, because it is possible to develop a mentality to fit your environment that simply makes the best of a bad situation. I'm not happy. I'm not getting the most out of my life, so I'm going to bring my expectation down to my reality and enjoy the fact that at least they didn't carry me off to the morgue today. I'm still here.
No one is such a real enemy as a false friend. The worst thing you can do when somebody hurts you, listen, the worst thing you can do is to harbor your hurt, because harbored hurt becomes burden bitterness. Not most of the time, not a lot of the time, every single time. If somebody hurts you and you hold it in and you brood over it, harbored hurt becomes burden bitterness.
When someone breaks our trust, we question ourselves too. Like, we think my judgment's bad because I totally put my faith in this person and look what they did to me. So you got to build that trust up back again with yourself. How do you do that? Read, learn, work out, be alone. It's okay to be alone. It's okay. There's no big deal. Enjoy it. Do something productive and build that trust up in yourself. Look back at the situation, learn from it.
You must be very intentional and deliberate. You're not going to wake up one day and find a law degree. You're going to have to work for it. And your problem is you wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, you're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is going to happen to you, and the best never happens to you.
If you look in the mirror tomorrow and say that, you will change. Because nobody likes thinking of themselves as a failure.
I don't want you to keep doing dumb stuff and say, my life is miserable. No, your life is not miserable. Your ability to make adjustments, to make corrections is messed up.
And you're too slow. You're too casual. You think too much. You need to get in a hurry. The separator is going to be who takes massive action quickly.
They print money. They don't print time. They don't print opportunities. You can lose money and get it back. You can't get time back. You can't get experiences back. Average people focus on money. The greats focus on time, because I can't get my time back.
If for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, what would you be like? What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be 10 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get.
If you want to make your dream become reality, the people that are running at their dreams know that it's possible that you can live your dream, that it's necessary, that you're relentless, that you have a plan of action, that you are creative. The people that are living their dream are finding winners to attach themselves to. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that if it's going to happen, it's up to them. And they're resolving within themselves, it's not over until I win. The people that are running after their dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one. I'm the one. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that are running after their dreams are the people that are hungry.
The key is time is precious. Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency, and their intensity. Life is not just watching the clock tick away. Life is a collection of experiences, their intensity, their frequency. When should you start the day? As soon as you have it finished. Plan the day the best you can, leaving plenty of room for improvising and surprises and all the stuff that happens during the course of the day. But if you've planned a good, productive day, now you start that day, you can't believe how much more valuable your time will be. Don't start the day until you have it finished. Now here's the next one. Don't start the week until you've had it finished. Now to lay out a week is a pretty good challenge. And then here's the big one. This is really challenging. Don't start the year until you have it finished. to the best of your ability. It can't be finished like minute by minute. But in terms of the sweep of what you want to accomplish, make sure that that's set and ready to go by the time January 1st rolls around. And it might get all upset. It might get torn up and you do a new one. You make so much progress the first 90 days that now you've multiplied it all by 2, by 3. Because that happened to me. I thought, wow, this is going to be a great year. By the time I'd finished the 3rd month, I'm rolling, I'm soaring. So many things are happening, I revised my whole year's plan. Next key to time management. And that's work longer and harder. But see, there's a limit to that. I almost lost my health the first year. I went so crazy about personal development and achievement. I just went bonkers. You know, I told you I was skinny. By the end of that first year, I was a walking shadow. And then it suddenly occurred to me, what if I got rich and too ill to spend it? I mean, that was a shocker. So I started, developing a little more reasonable. Because I said, if 12 hours won't do it, I'll work 14. If that won't do it, I'll work 18. I mean, how many hours it takes. And sure enough, it cost me too much. So see, working longer and harder for some might be appropriate. Here's the key, not to work harder, but smarter.
We give up so quickly. The first time we get turned away, we go home. The first person that doesn't like us, the first person that doesn't help us, the first time it gets a little hard, many of us are so quick to see disappointment as a dead end. If you can't get in, go up. If you can't get through on this level, go up to a higher level. Sometimes the reason God allows you to be restricted is because you're at the wrong level. And sometimes he'll put a disappointment in your life, so you have to climb over it.
Restoration will come. Healing will come if you won't give up.
Anytime trouble comes, anytime heartache comes, anytime disappointment hits their life, rather than face it and walk through it, they quit, they back down, and they waste their pain. Pain has a purpose. Don't let your pain define you. Let your pain refine you.
Now, our job is not to be the person who exposes betrayers. Our job is to make sure that we stay resilient enough to know that betrayers are going to come and go, but we're going to walk by faith and not by sight. And we are going to forgive people. We are going to enjoy our life.
People, they go through something that was supposed to be a season, but instead of it being a season, it dictates their entire life. You met people that instead of getting better, they just got bitter because of the pain. Before you know it, their entire identity is wrapped around their issue. It's wrapped around this moment of heartache, this moment of disappointment. You've met people that have been betrayed by a friend, and instead of forgiving, instead of rising back up, instead of being the friend that they're looking for, they isolate and they back down. You meet people that their dreams never came to pass, and because the dreams never came to pass, they just now become a critic of anybody else who goes for their dreams.
Stay on your path, stay positive, stay encouraged, keep praying. I want you to start praying specific prayers, and that way you're going to start witnessing God bless you specifically. Don't feel like you're being greedy or over the top. It's beautiful to recognize when you're blessed, but it's okay to start asking for blessings.
And so right now, in this era where we are, the people that are going to come out on top, the people that are going to get control of their destiny, the people that are going to maximize this place in history and be fortified in terms of their mental resolve and families and their skills and their ability to create incredible wealth, are people that are using their times more productively. The people who take the time to learn something new every day. If you're not willing to learn, nobody can help you. If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you.
80% 80% of the things we do are busy things that we do in an area that is not effective. The average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really gifted at, created at, excited to do. And the rest of it is all the dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Wonder what would happen if we would go from doing 80% of things that are busy but not effective and 20% of the things that are really effective if we would switch those numbers around and only give 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do.
If you'll be faithful, if you'll be disciplined when the amounts are small, we'll make you a ruler, give you a position of authority when the amounts are many. Take care of your disciplines when the amounts are small, and then life will see to it that you get some extraordinary numbers to work with. Do not disregard the smallest of disciplines. Do not neglect the smallest of disciplines, and build on that foundation, and you can have everything you could possibly want. Get going.
Don't stop at where you are as if it were the destination, when in fact, in reality, it may be the transportation that brings you into that thing you were created to do.
Every time my phone rings, I look at it, I think of my visions and dreams. Every time I pick up that phone, I should pick up that phone to make one of them dreams come true. So every time I'm texting or email, I'm trying to make a dream come true. I don't have time for nonsense. Like what they say about me in the blogs, it don't matter what they say. They don't know me. They don't even know me. They never met me. They say negative stuff about me, it don't mean nothing. Look at me. What do I care what they say? God keeps blessing me. It don't matter what you say. You got to know who you are and whose you are. That's all you need to know. I know who I am and I know who I belong to. And that God of mine ain't gonna let nothing happen to me.
We all have people that come against us, make negative comments, trying to discredit us or belittle us. Human nature is to get in there and try to straighten them out, prove to them how they're wrong. We think we have to defend ourselves. After all, that's our reputation. But the problem with this approach is as soon as you get one person straightened out, 3 more will pop up. There will always be somebody that's against you, somebody that's trying to make you look bad. If you're constantly trying to defend yourself, you'll get distracted fighting battles that you were never supposed to fight. It's easy to get baited into conflict, thinking, did you see what they said about me on social media? I'm going to show them who they're messing with. Do you know how much energy it takes to try to pay somebody back or to try to prove to them that you really are a nice person? You are spending emotional energy that you need for your dreams, for your goals. Here's the key. You don't have to defend yourself. God said He will defend you. He will protect your reputation. Quit worrying about the chatter, the negative comments. Those are all distractions. That's the enemy trying to bait you off course so you'll waste your time and energy involved in battles that don't matter. Well, Joel, I'm upset because I'm a good person. What they're saying about me is not true. Doesn't matter how good you are, how loving, kind, upstanding, somebody's not going to like you. Somebody's going to try to discredit you.
Most people don't feel worthy. What I'm doing now, I could have been doing years ago. But because I did not have a college education, because I didn't believe in myself, because I allowed other people's opinion of me to control my destiny, I didn't act on my ideas. So I applaud you for your dreaming, for your running toward your dream. I applaud you for believing in yourself, because that's what life is about, stretching and challenging, looking for ways that you can begin to improve yourself. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality.
I just wanted to remind you to dream and dream big, and understand that your family and friends and loved ones, in most cases, boyfriends, girlfriends, they will be the first to try and talk you out of your dreams, your visions, and ideas as to what you're supposed to do with your life. They will say, who wants you when you've already had 2 or 3 kids? Who wants you when you put on all that weight? Who wants you when you're looking like this and been through this and been through that? Nobody's interested in you. Nobody's checking for you. They'll laugh at you. They'll call you names because they have no dreams. They have no hunger for success. They don't have an appetite. They don't want it. I want to win so bad. My hunger and appetite for success is intimidating. It scares the shit out of people. I come up with new visions and ideas every single day. And people around me say, slow down, stop. You're doing too much. Your appetite is too big. I can't help myself. I want to win. Leave it. And there's no one in the world that can talk me out of that feeling.
Sometimes people speak negative words and say things that can limit our life. A friend of mine wanted to become a doctor, but he was told by his high school counselor that he wasn't smart enough. He didn't make good enough grades, and he should try something else. If we let these negative comments play in our mind, they will keep us from becoming who we were created to be. No one can make you think something. You get to choose what you're going to dwell on. When those lies come saying you're not attractive, you don't have a good personality, you're too old, you can dwell on it, let it poison you, or you can ignore it and not give it the time of day. In the scripture, David faced all kinds of opposition, people speaking defeat over him, thoughts saying that he'd never reach his destiny. How did he keep his mind filled with faith? He said in Psalm 38, my enemies lay traps for me. They make plans to ruin me, but I am deaf to their threats. I choose to hear nothing at all. If you're going to reach your potential, you have to become deaf to the negative. When threats come, discouraging thoughts, people speaking defeat, you have to do like David and choose to hear nothing at all. Don't give it the time of day. Let it go in one ear and out the other. That's what my friend did in high school. 20 years later, this counselor, the same one that told him he wasn't smart enough, brought his mother to the doctor. He walked in and saw my friend. Said, don't I know you from somewhere? My friend said, yes, I'm the student you said would never become a doctor. He treated his mother and billed him twice the normal amount. People don't determine your destiny. Don't let them talk you out of what God put in your heart. You have to become deaf to the naysayers, deaf to relatives that tell you you can't accomplish your dreams, deaf to co-workers that make demeaning remarks, say things to belittle you. The enemy will use people to try to keep you from your purpose. And they may be good people. They may love you, but they don't see what God put in you. They're judging from the outside. They don't realize what's on the inside. God put greatness in you. It's one thing when a friend discounts you, a coworker puts you down, but when your own family, someone that should be for you, they speak defeat, tell you how you're not that talented, you can't accomplish the dream, those words carry more weight. You have to dig down deep and say, I am not going to let what they're saying take root. They may be my family, but I'm not going to let their doubt convince me to settle for less than what God's put in me. Paul said in Romans, so what if they don't believe? Will their unbelief make your faith of no effect? And sometimes we're wanting people to believe in us that are never going to be for us. We long for their affirmation, for our family to cheer us on, a friend to encourage us, but it's just the opposite. You have to say like Paul, so what if they don't believe? They're not going to talk me out of believing. I love them, but I'm going to be deaf to their unbelief. These are tests we have to pass. You won't have everyone cheering you on. There will be doubters, naysayers, people that are close to you that don't think you can accomplish what God put in your heart. If they don't believe, you don't need them. They didn't put the dream in you. Be respectful, but be deaf to their unbelief. The quicker you get rid of it, the better you'll be. If you start thinking about it for a day, dwelling on it, maybe what they said is right. Maybe I will never get out of these shepherd's fields. Maybe I won't break this addiction. Maybe my business has seen its best days. Or maybe I should just learn to live with this sickness. No, what you should do is become deaf to the negative. You can't play defeat in your mind and have victory. You can't think sickness and have health. You can't dwell on thoughts of lack and have abundance. I wonder how much more peace you would have, how much more you would enjoy your life if you would start leaving your cases in the hands of God. We spend too much time trying to defend ourselves, trying to prove to people who we are, worried about what they think. Why don't you put your reputation in God's hands? I can assure you, God can vindicate you better than you can vindicate yourself. You don't have to retaliate. You don't have to try to pay people back, convince them to change their mind. The truth is, some people are never going to be for you. No matter what you do, they're not going to like you. They're intent on misunderstanding you. They don't want to see your point of view. They don't want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Now, don't go the next 5 years frustrated because they're negative towards you, engaged in a battle that you're not supposed to be engaged in. It's time to leave that case in the hands of God. Quit worrying about what they think. Quit reading what they say about you on social media. Quit getting all riled up thinking about how you can retaliate, how you can pay them back. Well, as long as you're defending yourself, then the true defender, the Most High God, will step back. He'll let you do it your way. But when we make this decision, God, I'm turning this over to you. I'm not going to spend my life worried about what somebody's saying, wasting my energy trying to change their mind, upset because they don't like me. God, I know you're my defender. I know you're fighting my battles. That's when the creator of the universe will go to work. When people try to push you down, God will lift you up. When they try to make you look bad, he'll turn it around and cause you to look good. He'll cause you to shine. When Jesus was here, the people who were the most against him were the religious people. But Jesus didn't try to convince them to change their mind. He didn't spend hours arguing doctrine. He ignored his critics and just ran his race. One time they criticized Jesus for healing a man on the Sabbath. He did the right thing, but they said he did it on the wrong day. And some people, no matter what you do, are not going to be for you. You have to accept the fact that not everyone is going to accept you. Not everyone is going to like you or understand you. If you're going to reach your highest potential, you have to be comfortable being controversial. If you want everybody to like you, you'll get stuck. You have to ask yourself, if I engage in this conflict, if I prove my point, if I win them over, am I going to be any further toward my destiny? Or have I just fed my ego? Have I just made my flesh feel good? Stay on the high road. Your time is too valuable, your destiny too important, your assignment too great to get involved in battles that don't matter. There will always be Sanballats yelling insults. Always be Tobiases trying to get under your skin, agitate you. Don't worry, you have a defender. Be still and know that he is God.
Let him fight those battles. God will take care of your critics.